What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? MonkeyFlop here, and today I get your gaming news, baby. If you guys do enjoy these videos, make sure to hit a like, comment down below, support your boy. If you guys are new, subscribe with those bell notifications turned on. We are going to be talking about E3. We're going to be talking about GameStop and the future of those, because there's new news coming out about that too. But first, let's go ahead and talk about the PlayStation 5. A lot of fans, including myself, are expecting the reveal to happen on February 5th. If you guys are expecting it, let me know in those comments down below. I'll wait for you. Okay, but new news has come out about the PlayStation 5 reveal, in particularly that it's going to happen tomorrow. If it does happen tomorrow, I'll definitely make a video with my reactions and my thoughts and my opinions. If it looks amazing, I'll let you guys know. Hey, it looks amazing. If it looks like poop, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I know this is a PlayStation channel, but I always like to keep it real with you guys, and I'll give you guys my honest opinions, unlike some. But with that being said, we should possibly get a PlayStation 5 reveal tomorrow. Let's go ahead and talk about GameStop, because GameStop is one of those things that has been speculated to be obsolete. Let's be honest. Let's keep it real here. You know, GameStop's one of those stores that you used to love. You used to love going to, and then you found out that the trade prices are not in your favor at all. They give you pennies on the dollar for the games that you purchase. And then, you know, purchasing used games, you can find them a lot cheaper on Amazon these days. So there's that. And that's honestly really touchy. They've honestly tried to work and make that part better. But GameStop has always been about used games. That's where their money maker is. A lot of people were speculating when digital games came along that GameStop was going to be obsolete. I remember back in the day, I used to work at a hotel and did customer service, and GameStop actually had one of their conventions in the hotel, and one of the GameStop stockholders, and he actually owned one of the GameStop stores where he lived, asked me, because he saw that I was a gamer. I usually always wear either like rock stuff or like gamer stuff, even at work. But this was back in the day, and he asked me, do you think that GameStop's going to survive the next year, considering the fact that a lot of games are going to go digital? And I'm like, yeah, there's always going to be a need for a game store. I don't see it going obsolete. And with everything going on around, you know, social media and GameStop in particular, I don't think that GameStop's going to go away anytime soon. Sure, they can't sell digital games like they used to. That wasn't the big majority of their moneymaker. Their moneymaker was in console sales and in used games. Console sales are going to go back up within the next year with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X releasing. I had to think about that one for a second. I'm like, wait, what is it called again? But with the new consoles coming around, they're going to have sales. They're going to have more used game sales with the fact that the PlayStation 5 is going to be playing backwards compatible with the PlayStation 4. So there's that. They have been focusing more on trying to sell, you know, nerd culture stuff, I guess you can say, is what it's classified under for a lot of people. But you know, the knickknacks, the figurines, the pops, gaming shirts, you know, toys and different things like that. They've been selling a lot more of them. But here's the big thing. A lot of GameStops are closing in the United States. I mean, there's a ton of lists of GameStops closing around the United States. And even its partner company, EB Games in Canada, is shutting down a lot of stores too, which is speculating, you know, a lot of people to think like, okay, GameStop is definitely done for. But what they're trying to do is they are, you know, going into like esports type of thing, where they want to hold community tournaments, not big tournaments where, you know, it would house like thousands of people, because GameStops usually are not that big. It would be more of like a community esports event and things like that. We already see some malls have little shops where you can go in and they have like multiple PCs set up, multiple you know, video game consoles set up, and you can rent it by the day for like $15. You can play all the games you want across whatever platform you want, and you could switch from PC to Xbox to PS4, and those are becoming more of a thing. And before that even became a thing, GameStop's plan was to start putting these things into the stores. Now, I will say this, with all of the GameStops closing, if you know of a GameStop that's closing in your area, go to it, because they're 50 to 70% off the entire store, depending on what you want to purchase. I know in Los Angeles, specifically in Santa Monica, there was a store that just recently closed down, and it was a big one, guys. It was a really big one. I went in and I got a couple of Dragon Ball Z figurines. I got this guy right here, and then I got a couple of others that I have put away. But I get this guy for like $10, so it was a pretty sweet deal. I know some people got Nintendo Switch Lites, which are brand new, just got released, for a fraction of the price. So if you guys know of any GameStops that are closing in your area, make sure to go check it out and see if there's anything that you would want to purchase. Now, moving into GameStop closing completely, I don't think so. I think that they're going to be changing things up. I think they're going to be reinventing themselves, if you will. But with the video game market kind of changing, but at the same time kind of staying steady, because PlayStation 5 will have backwards compatibility with the PlayStation 4. I think it's just time that GameStop themselves, you know, realize that us gamers, I'm not talking about GameStop like employees, I'm talking about the executives, the guys on top, the guys that make the decisions for prices and stuff like that. I think it's time for them to realize, like, hey, these gamers are not stupid. They're not gonna, you know, buy a $60 game and trade it in, you know, a week later after it just got released for 20 or 30 bucks. They're not gonna go in and buy a used game for $54.99 because you're saving $5 when you could find it on Amazon, eBay. You can find it online for much, much cheaper. I think it's time for those guys to actually realize, like, okay, we need to change pricing and we need to give GameStop a better look. I mean, they've already done a good job with hiring a good PR person to handle their social media. The GameStop social media is on fire right now. Like, can't really compare it to Wendy's because Wendy's does a completely different thing. But if you think about the way that Wendy's handles their social media, GameStop is doing a lot better in that aspect too. So that's it for GameStop. I'd love to know you guys' thoughts and opinions. Next up, let's go ahead and talk about E3, because that's honestly a dinosaur too. It hasn't changed with the times fast enough. And Sony backed out, you know? And a lot of people are asking me, do you think that Sony's ever going to come back to E3? And there's a possibility, but I highly doubt it, guys. Like, I think that Sony, if they want to do something, they're going to do their own PlayStation experience like they did in the past. That was honestly an amazing thing to go to, because it was all about PlayStation. It was all about games. They did have cosplay. They did have tournaments, big tournaments. They had a Street Fighter tournament that was massive. And they had, you know, playable demos and playable games on their showroom floor. And it was just an amazing experience, and it was a lot better than what I've been to lately at E3. E3 used to be a really awesome place to go to, but like I said, they haven't really changed with the times. The reason why I wanted to talk about it is because E3 actually came out with a statement saying that basically they're going to be changing things up to appeal to you know, the masses, appeal to the gamers, celebrities, influencers, and have it more of an experience for the people that are paying Like, if you're interested in going to E3, you can pay and get in for, you know, a fee and get your badge and experience it for yourself. But they want to have different experiences, and they're going to be experimenting this year with a lot of different things and a lot more playable games on the showroom floor and a lot more experiences than ever before. Is this going to help E3, you know, thrive? I think about it and I'm like, you know what? I see the direction that GameStop's going in, and the reason why I wanted to talk about both of them in one video is I see where GameStop's direction is going, and I see where E3's direction is going. They're both going into a, you know, a better place than they were a couple of years ago, or even a couple of months ago. But I look at GameStop and I'm like, okay, GameStop is moving in the right direction to where I think that they possibly have a fighting chance to survive through all of this. E3, on the other hand, we are going to have to really see how this year goes. Because if this year has long lines and people waiting 2 to 3 hours to play a single game, it's going to be bad. And people aren't going to want to go to it. Nobody's going to want to have that type of experience for video games. As much as they want to try to change it into a Disneyland experience, which they shouldn't turn it into a Disneyland experience like last year, where I waited 3 hours to play Borderlands 3, or where you wanted to play Mortal Kombat, which is already released on the PlayStation 4, you had to wait at least an hour. Like, stuff like that is really where it hurts E3. So, you know, I'm hopeful that E3 is going to turn it around this year. I'm optimistic, but at the same time, I'm kind of like, you know what, I don't know. I honestly don't know. I want to pass the question off to you. What do you guys think about E3? What do you guys think about GameStop? Do you guys think that the PlayStation 5 is going to be revealed tomorrow or on February 5th? But give me you guys' honest opinions about GameStop particularly and E3. Do you think these dinosaurs are going to evolve and be able to last through all of these changes that have been going on with their eyes closed? Let me know in those comments down below. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you guys in the next news update. You guys are freaking awesome.